Hi everyone, this is CY. Welcome back to my channel. Right, if you're first time joining me, this is my channel is all about having fun making coffee. Right, just now I roasted some Yunnan Baoshan triple A quality coffee beans. Right, I do it city roast. Right, you can see that the roast is actually very light. So this is just roasted about 15 minutes ago, and it has been cooled down. So I'm going to try to see the taste profile of the roasted bean. Right, instead of using carbine, right, I'm just going to use the V60 setup, right, with my Millwright hand grinder. Right, so for this roast profile, right, I'm going to set it to about 50 to 55 clicks. So let me return all the way to the original. Right, to actually reset your Millwright back to 0, very simple, just turn clockwise until the turn knob is no longer able to turn. Right, so this is actually your 0 position. So from here, right, you can actually do a counterclockwise rotation. Right, let me do 55 clicks today. That's 10. That's 20. 30. 40. That's 50. That's 55. Right, so I've already adjusted my Millwright hand grinder to a setting of 55 clicks. Right, I've pre-measured 20 grams of coffee beans, so I'm just going to do a 1:15 ratio. Right, right, my Millwright has been dialed in already, so it's very easy to grind. Right, and you can hear the sound. It's actually very pleasant. Right, you don't have to use a lot of strength because the burr is actually very efficient in slicing the coffee into very well distributed grind size. Right, the grind size is actually very well distributed. Right, after your Millwright hand grinder is dialed in, right, it's pretty much effortless to actually do the grinding. Right, okay, it's now finished grinded. Right, so before we get into brewing, right, we have to heat up all our gear first. I'm going to use a cloth filter today, right, instead of the paper filter. Right, be generous when you rinse the filter. Right, use the water here. Right, actually you can use the water here to heat up your cup as well. Right, so now let's get the coffee beans out. Okay, not too sure you can see. Right, so let me bring you closer. Right, always remember to 0 your weighing scale, and you can start the timer. Right, take a small little hole at the center. Right, so the first stage is known as the blooming stage. Right, the advantage of using a swan neck pot is actually the control of the water. Right, you can see how beautiful the blooming is. That shows how fresh the coffee is. Right, let it bloom for about 30 seconds. Right, while waiting, I can get ready my drinking cup. Right, you can see how tall, how nice the bloom is. Right, so now let's continue to pour in about, since I'm using 20 grams, I'm going to get about 300 grams of water. Right, from the center, right, go around in circular mode. Right, try not to touch the edge of the coffee as much as possible. Right, and circle back into the center. Right, because my grind size is a bit coarse, so you can see that water flow is pretty fast. Right, if you haven't tried the V60 brew method, I strongly recommend you get a setup for this. Right, the setup costs you less than $50, of course excluding the manual hand grinder. Right, I think the most expensive piece of equipment here in this setup is actually a manual hand grinder. And recently I realized that because I'm trying to get a set of Comandante C40, right, previously I can purchase it at about 325 Singapore per dollar. Now it has gone up all the way to 440, 445. So I don't think it's worth purchasing anymore. Right, my Millwright is equivalent to that quality. Right, so my Millwright is only at about $220 Sing dollar. Right, this is actually from an American company called St. Anthony Industry. Right, that company does a lot of great stuff. They do, I think, a lot of coffee tools. Right, if you're interested, you can actually go to their website and find out. Right, it's called St. Anthony Industries. Right, so now the total drawdown time is about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Right, so the drawdown has been completed. So I can off my weighing scale. Right, that's when your cup here is very useful. Right, you can always leave your coffee filter here, and then you can actually pour yourself a cup of coffee. Right, so that's a very simple and yet produce very good cup of delicious coffee. Right, so let me give it a try. Right, cheers. So let me try this cup of coffee. Very smooth, a tint of acidity, right? Not as fruity as the Colombian or the Ethiopian. It's a very different kind of fruitiness. It's a very how do I describe this? Okay, if I rate the body of the Colombian roasted bean to about from a scale of 1 to 10, if the Colombian beans is the body of the Colombian bean is about 7 to 8, the body of this Yunnan Baoshan AAA quality bean is around 5, right? So it is very, very smooth. And it's very pleasant to drink. And yeah, the right word for this is actually very smooth. The body is on the lighter side, and I think it's a very good afternoon cup of coffee, whereby you don't want something to be too intense, too heavy. Right, this is a perfect cup for you. In terms of fragrance, it has a floral kind of fragrance, not as intense as again compared to the Colombian beans. But you can see from the initial, this is immediately after roast, and the coffee bean is really very pleasant to drink, and the profile will develop over time, over the next 7 days to become even better. So this cup of coffee is going to get better later on. Wow, it's a very enjoyable cup. So I think this is a successful roast, right? I have roasted first time 1 kg at one go, right? So I'm going to share with my friend, right? This bag of 1 kg of coffee beans, Yunnan coffee beans from Baoshan, right? So cheers, right? This is CY again, right? Hope you like my channel and do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and like my videos, right? If you like what I do, right? Do share my videos and click on the bell, right, to stay updated on my future release of content, right? Have a good day, right? Thank you for watching. See you very soon.